Seems some left-wingers have been revealing their racist attitudes, whether they realise it or not, especially when it comes to discussions regarding large-scale immigration. We've seen it before when they tell black people or gay people they are not really black or gay unless they think a certain way. And now they are telling people in Britain who have immigrant backgrounds they have no right to be against mass immigration. So much for equality. And before I show you that exact argument used against Nigel Farage, I want you to picture this. Take someone integrated into British society, possibly the only society they've ever known and loved, hard-working, respected and accepted members of the community. They may have kids and grandkids at the local schools. They have great lives in a beautiful English village or town, and they happen to like things just the way they are. Then all that glorious countryside surrounding their village is to be turned into houses and roads because there's 500,000 people a year coming here, or thousands of asylum seekers have been dumped in their village or town, and it has changed beyond all recognition. It may even be a dangerous place now full of crime and backwards practices. Now, imagine saying to that person or family, shut up, you can't complain or comment because your parents or grandparents or ancestors or your partners were once immigrants to this island. They're basically saying people already here who are totally invested in our country and way of life have no more right to be here than an economic migrant from Albania or Somalia who has not yet made the illegal crossing. This is the level of racism coming from the so-called woke liberal types. Here is Eddie Izzard doing exactly that with Nigel Farage.
The point is, you are from an immigrant family and you're married to an immigrant. Why are you so against immigration when it worked?
Because we have to control it. We have to control it.
Hang on. You grew up. You're French Protestant from one side. You're German from the other side. Yeah. You should be the champion.
Well, I am.
Of people who are immigrants coming in. Look what they did. They got it to your situation.
Why do you want to stop people from the Commonwealth coming in? Because we have an open door to Southern.
Why do you want to stop people coming in from countries?
Because I want to have an Australian-style point system where we get the right people coming to Britain in the right numbers.
Nigel, you told your followers to bully people to vote for you. This is not the right attitude for you to have.
If we go on with current levels of immigration,
you've got to answer your own situation here.
Our population will be 80 million by 2040. Right.
Apparently, Farage had ancestors who emigrated to London from Germany in 1861, and the unusual surname is of Huguenot descent. The Huguenots were people who came here from France over 300 years ago. Nigel is obviously born and raised in England, sees himself as British, and it seems this is the only country he's ever known as home. Whether you like him or not, to any normal person, he is accepted as British. Not to Eddie Izzard, though. He is only interested in where Farage's ancestors are from. That alone determines how he must think. Whether Izzard is aware he's been racist or not, I'm not sure. We've heard James O'Brien do exactly the same thing with Boris Johnson and others. We see this argument made countless times by people on the left, and some have taken it to even more insane extremes. Being of Anglo-Saxon and Viking heritage means your ancestors once came here as immigrants over 1,000 years ago. To some, this now means you have no right to comment on immigration. You don't need me to explain how deranged that view is. It is just a tactic to shut down all opposition. And believe me, some take it back way further than that. Let's not forget, we know the left has used mass immigration as a tactic to get more Labour voters into the country, as immigrants historically tended to vote Labour. And it enrages them. Some of these people have now decided they no longer want to vote for them anymore. People came here in the past, and that is their justification for allowing millions more to come in the future. And people connected to those of the past have no right to comment on who comes in the future, whether that's 500,000 a year, 10 million a year, it doesn't matter. Either way, it's a ridiculous argument. Times and circumstances change. No doubt they'll be still using that argument when there is 1 billion people here. But in their eyes, there can never be such concepts as full because they don't believe in borders. The fact is, if we continue with 500,000 people a year coming here, it will be a disaster for this country, and people of immigrant backgrounds have as much right to be concerned about that as anyone else. Why wouldn't they be concerned? It'll affect them as much as anyone else. And making these people feel they can't speak up about it because they themselves had family once upon a time that came to Britain is a pretty bigoted opinion, to say the least. What has someone's background got to do with the fact they might be concerned about thousands of asylum-seeking men who are about to be dumped on the outskirts of their village? Izzard, O'Brien and the rest are free to say and think what they want, but the fact is, it's a racist argument.